You know that feeling when you're at a huge event, maybe a concert, maybe a big conference, and you just you can't help but wonder about all the moving parts behind the scenes.
Yeah, the sheer logistics of it all. It's massive.
Exactly. And that's what we've been digging into today. The well, the potential future of how events are actually put together and run.
hmm And our guide, really,
Mhm.
is Carlos Barrinha, the CEO of AGNCIA AidCom.
Right. We've looked at his vision, sort of his 10-year forecast, and also some really interesting shifts happening, right now in the industry.
Yeah, some things are already moving fast.
So our mission for this deep dive, to pull out the most significant, maybe even surprising ways that technology could just completely change the event landscape.
Giving everyone a sneak peek, really, at what might be coming.
Okay, so where do we start? What's the big picture here?
Well, I think what immediately jumps out is Carlos Barrinha's pretty firm belief that we're hitting a kind of tipping point with tech in events.
A tipping?
He actually uses the phrase point of no return. And honestly, you can already see signs of it.
Like what, for instance?
Okay, take event management platforms,
Mm.
like CventAI. Their latest updates, the ones just coming out for 2024, they're starting to include AI co-pilots.
AI co-pilot, seriously. So like AI helping you plan.
Yeah, exactly. Think about it. AI that can draft your event emails, help put together RFPs, even sketch out whole itineraries almost instantly.
Wow, that's not just making things a bit easier, is it?
No, not at all. It hints at a really fundamental change in how event planning gets done,
So the AI handles the admin grind?
right? Which, could free up planners to focus more on the creative side, the strategy, maybe leading to better, more innovative experiences for attendees.
That makes sense. So a big shift in focus. And it's not just the software side, right? You mentioned infrastructure too.
Absolutely. Look at the projected growth for smart stadiums.
Smart stadiums, okay.
The market's predicted to climb from nearly $20 billion this year
Yeah.
to over $41 billion by 2029.
Doubling in 5 years. That's huge.
It is. And that kind of jump isn't just about, bigger screens or faster Wi-Fi. It suggests a real evolution in the basic bones of these venues.
So what's fueling that massive expansion then?
A couple of things. One is definitely the demand for richer, more immersive fan experiences, but it's also hugely about the increasing value of data.
Data, right? Always data.
These smart stadiums, they run on strong 5G networks. They have thousands of IoT sensors, little sensors everywhere,
Uh-huh.
feeding back information constantly. Crowd flow, energy use, you name it. And all that data allows for real-time adjustments, optimizations, and even new ways to make money.
Okay, so it's about making the whole place more connected, more responsive, and building on that idea using data to improve things. Barrinha talks about AI managers, right? Juventus DIA.
Yeah, essentially AI managers playing a central role in actually running the events day to day.
How would that actually work, though, an AI manager?
Well, imagine an AI system that pulls in just vast amounts of info. The venue layout, sure, but also attendee demographics, maybe even tracking how people are moving around in real time.
Okay.
And then, based on all that, the AI could dynamically adjust things during the event.
Adjust what, though? Like the schedule?
Could be the schedule, could be directing people, maybe even changing digital signage. The big goal is to cut down on those things we all hate at events.
Long queues.
Exactly. Long queues, dead time where nothing's happening, wasting resources like staff or energy.
So the AI is constantly tweaking things on the fly. That sounds incredibly efficient, maybe a little unnerving.
Potentially.
Mhm.
And Brenya suggests this AI could even influence the really early decisions,
Mhm.
like where booths go in an exhibition, or even the overall theme of the event. It's about precision.
Okay. And this efficiency, this AI control, it extends beyond just managing the attendees, right? It gets into the physical setup, too.
Oh, absolutely. He talks about an intelligent warehouse, basically an AI running the whole storage and logistics side.
The whole warehouse.
Yeah. The system knows exactly what equipment is where. It optimizes the schedules for loading docks. It automatically sends out orders for deliveries and collections. Total overview.
Wow, okay. And from that AI-run warehouse, robots.
You got it. He paints this picture of, well, a whole team of robots taking over a lot of the heavy lifting, literally.
So robotic arms moving pallets, setting up scenery.
Constantly. Moving equipment, maybe assembling stages, handling all those bulky, awkward items. The idea is it's faster, much smoother, and safer too. Fewer accidents.
That makes sense. Reduce injuries, speed things up.
And what's really interesting is how it integrates with vehicles. He talks about autonomous trucks and vans.
Self-driving trucks delivering the gear.
Yeah, making just-in-time deliveries. So materials arrive exactly when and where they're needed. Less need for storage space on site, keeps things flowing.
That's pretty slick. And it doesn't stop there.
No, he even mentions inspection drones.
Drones, for checking the build quality.
Exactly. Flying around autonomously, checking the structural integrity of stages, rigging, making sure everything's safe, right down to the nuts and bolts.
That's incredible. And humanoid robots, too.
Yeah, the idea there is using them for tasks that are currently dangerous for humans. Working at height, maybe, or in hazardous environments. Reducing risk.
It's a really, really integrated vision. Okay, shifting gears slightly. One thing that's always a challenge at big international events is language.
Oh, definitely. Communication barriers.
Does Barrinha see tech helping there?
He's quite optimistic, actually.
Yeah.
He points to tools that already exist, like Wordly.
Wordly, what's that?
It provides real-time subtitles and audio translation in, like, dozens of languages.
Ah, okay, so live translation during talks.
Yeah, and he reckons that within just a few years, that kind of tech will just be standard, built into any presentation or keynote setup.
So no more fiddling with those awkward translation headsets.
Hopefully not. And you see it becoming mainstream already. Yeah. Microsoft Teams is rolling out live captions in multiple languages.
Right, I've seen that.
It suggests it's becoming an expectation, not just a fancy add-on. It makes events so much more accessible.
Absolutely. Huge win for inclusivity. Okay, let's circle back to robots. You mentioned them for setup, but Barrinha draws a distinction, doesn't he, between different types of robots at events.
Yeah, that's a useful distinction. He talks about robots that interact directly with attendees.
The front-of-house robots.
Kind of. Like he mentions Plato from United Robotics. These can act as guides, give out information, maybe even hand out little giveaways or samples.
Okay, interacting, enhancing the experience.
Exactly. They're designed for that direct attendee interaction.
And then there are the other kind, the behind-the-scenes ones.
Right. More focused on infrastructure tasks. He gives the example of the Purdue MT-1.
What does that do?
It's already being used for autonomous cleaning in big warehouses. So imagine those types of robots, quietly cleaning huge convention center floors overnight.
Making sure everything's spotless for the next day without needing a big cleaning crew working antisocial hours.
Precisely. Big boost in efficiency there.
And what about getting a coffee? Is there a robot for that?
Huh? Well, maybe. Barrinha draws a parallel with Starship robots.
Oh, yeah, the little delivery bots you see on campuses.
Those are the ones. They've done millions of deliveries now. So he envisions similar robots potentially navigating event spaces, bringing refreshments right to you.
Okay, that I could get behind. No more missing half a talk waiting in the coffee queue.
Exactly. Could eliminate those bottlenecks.
Sounds incredibly convenient. Now, let's think about who, or maybe what, is actually up on the stage presenting in this future. Barrinha mentioned something pretty radical. Digital presenters.
Yeah, this is where it gets really interesting. Sci-fi territory, almost.
Digital presenters. Like holograms.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Or maybe hyper-realistic avatars on screen. He points to NVIDIA's Sophie avatar as an example. It can apparently hold a real-time dialogue.
An AI avatar that can talk back and forth.
That's the idea. So imagine these incredibly lifelike digital figures on huge high-res screens giving keynotes, maybe even taking questions from the audience.
Wow. The potential there is huge. You could get experts from anywhere, no travel needed.
Opens up massive possibilities. But, it raises questions too.
Like what?
Well, can an avatar, no matter how realistic, truly replicate the connection, the spontaneity you get from a live human speaker? What are the limits?
That's a really good question. Can pixels replace presence? Definitely something to think about. Okay, another area evolving super fast is drone technology.
Oh, yeah. Moving way beyond just getting a few nice aerial shots.
So what's the next level for drones at events?
Barrinha highlights the big shift from traditional fireworks to choreographed drone shows.
Ah, like the light shows you see sometimes.
Exactly. Companies like Intel are already doing spectacular ones. He suggests these are likely to take over from fireworks.
Why? Just because they look cool?
That, but also cost effectiveness and, importantly, ESG factors.
ESG. Ah, environmental, social governance.
Right. Drone shows reduce noise pollution, air pollution compared to fireworks.
Yeah.
They can create amazing 3D logos, animations in the sky. It's modern and arguably greener.
Okay, that makes sense. Better for the planet, maybe cheaper in the long run.
And it's not just the big light shows. He also talks about FPV drones.
First-person view. What are those used for?
Think of them as incredibly agile, flying Steadicams. They give you really dynamic, immersive shots.
For live streaming.
Yeah. He mentions cases where using FPV drones for live streams has apparently tripled audience engagement.
Tripled. Wow, that's a massive
It
jump.
really is. That immersive perspective seems to pull viewers in much more than static cameras.
Okay, but if you've got potentially hundreds of drones flying around for light shows, for filming, doesn't that create
Yeah.
issues? Security, safety,
Absolutely. And Barrinha touches on that, the development of drone countermeasures.
countermeasures, like ways to stop unauthorized drones.
Exactly. Systems like AirSight, apparently they're starting to show up at industry events already. He thinks having dedicated drone detection and